Hello, this is Dave at AFX Search Licensed Investigators in Palm Beach, Florida. This video we're going to talk about credit card fraud. If you've been a victim of fraud on your credit card or had fraudulent charges placed on your account, it's important to look beyond just those charges to see if there may be other breaches of your security or other financial exposure you might have. Take a look to see if there's a way to discover the source of that breach. Obviously, it's real easy with a credit card to be not liable for that single charge or even multiple charges. Call your bank up, you can dispute the charges, they'll erase them as long as you have the proper documentation that you didn't make that purchase. However, that's just going to eliminate those payments. Who knows whether or not that card has been breached through a way that the new card could be compromised in the same way. For example, if it was breached because you used it at a certain merchant or vendor, the next time you use your replacement card with a new number, they're going to have that number as well. So trying to find the source of that breach might help, even though you might feel like, well, I don't have to pay for any of this fraud on my first card. Making sure it doesn't happen again is as important, so you don't have to go through this process again. You want to also make sure that there's no other identity theft. What if you wrote a check from your bank account to that same merchant at some point? Now they have your bank account at the same place. It's the same fraudster. They can use your bank information even more than they can use your credit card. They can use your bank account to withdraw money, to do a wire transfer, and it's much more difficult to dispute those charges. So here's how an investigation might go to determine credit card fraud. We're going to look at other activity on your card to see if there's a pattern of when and where this breach occurred. We're going to match it with other fraud at that same merchant to see if there's, for example, a pattern of use of other cards at that same merchant that we can track back to see where those cards were compromised, if it matches up yours. See if there's other vendors that other card holders who were defrauded use their charge. In one case, we found that there was a nonprofit organization that was taking donations. Several credit cards that were used in fraud were previously used at that nonprofit. The nonprofit organization itself was doing nothing wrong, but they had an employee that was processing these payments, that were selling credit card numbers to an associate, a colleague, who was using these cards to buy flat screen TVs that they were reselling on Craigslist. So we're going to look for that pattern, how and when it was used. We're also may look at if there's an online merchant that your card was used at. We're going to get with them to see what the IP address that ordered these online payments were originated. Was it local to you? Was it in another part of the country? That may give an indication of where your card number was stolen. If there's offline use of the card, that may be something where if you swiped it, there's a card reader that may have used that information. A lot of times you'll find that when the card is outside of your control at a restaurant, you give the card to the waiter, he walks away with it, runs your card, he may have a little device in his pocket to steal that credit card number. So if it's important to you to keep from the card number from being compromised again, an investigation can find out where the card was breached. Obviously, your charges for that original theft are probably not going to be your problem because the bank will eat them or make the merchant eat them. But if you have a breach on your identity or your personal information, there's no guarantee that future uses of your new card, of other credit cards, or of your checking account won't be at risk if you use them at the same place that stole your account in the first place. If you have more information, if you want more questions about credit card fraud or even other types of identity theft, you can reach us at our website, afxsearch.com, and we'd be glad to help.